All right, we're officially starting.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning and good evening.
It's good morning here in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's good evening for you, right, Juinnwen? 9 p.m. Singapore.
Yeah.
Well, let's say a word of welcome to our guests. All right, and today you're in for a treat, guys. We have a very special guest from Singapore. And well, Juinnwen, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, first, Margaret and Pat, thank you very much for inviting me and waking up rather early, so we could do this.
I know, especially this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Juinnwen. I'm born and bred in Singapore, and at 18, I was lucky enough that the Singapore government gave me a scholarship. And I went to the London School of Economics and I majored in mathematical economics. So when I came back, my first posting with the government was with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And I got lucky again because my boss then was Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. He had just entered politics and he was the minister. At the ministry, what I was doing, I was in charge of, my first portfolio was manpower planning. That means I planned for how many engineers we wanted to produce, how many doctors, how many lawyers. Oh, and Pat, this you will find interesting. Even though we were supposed to be a financial center and we were supposed to produce a certain number of lawyers, my minister looked at it and said, lawyers, not too many. They give us a lot of problems.
Oh,
thanks a lot.
Absolutely true.
We need more lawyers to create chaos in the world.
Yeah. We need more doctors. They said, no, the lawyers, they give us too much trouble. And I did other things. I set up the Economic Research Unit. One of the other projects that was very interesting was in 1985, Singapore had the first ever recession for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so we convened an economic committee chaired by Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, of course, who today is our current Prime Minister. And they brought in all the industry bigwigs, the IBM chief, the Hewlett-Packard chief. So it was a dialogue with the private sector that went on for maybe about a year or so to try and come up with measures to get us out of the slump. Which we did. So you could say maybe I was lucky that I learned my chops in a crisis to see how the Singapore government operated. Identify the problem, seek feedback, and get the problem solved. In fact, I remember after when we were still recovering, I was the first one, I was tasked to write the first paper on whether we should build a casino. This was in 1985. 1985. Of course, my answer was yes from economic, but of course we didn't proceed. This was way 30, 40 years ago. So that didn't go on. So after my stints, actually I didn't finish my full bond, and then a British stockbroking company called Smith Newcourt, they had wanted to set up a Southeast Asian division. So they headhunted me and I went over. I had no experience, but I felt that the stockbroking side was going to boom. Because at that time, you may recall, the 4 Asian tigers were on the rise. South Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. And the economies were going up, but the stock markets were underdeveloped. So I saw an opportunity. So I went straight to the City of London to work in what I call institutional stockbroking. So my role was to advise the pension funds, the unit trusts, in the UK, in Scotland, in France, in Italy, and in Germany, where to put their money in Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. I came back and then I worked for a local company in Singapore. So I had about 15 years of experience in that field. And then Nu Skin came into our lives.
Well, so you're a Singapore scholar?
Yes. I hope you don't hold that against me.
That's good.
That's good. I mean, we didn't know. I don't know you're a very smart guy, but Singapore scholar, huh? Very impressive, right?
Yeah, very good.
And so much experience in investing and all that.
Yeah.
Well, now that got me curious. What did you see, or who recruited you into New Skin?
Okay, so I remember distinctly it was the morning of January 2nd, 2001. And I even remember roughly what time the call came in. It was about 10:30, 11. Okay, and I tell you why. Because anytime before that, any stockbroker will not answer your call because we're too busy putting the trades in and this and that. And of course, the person who called me knew that because she was none other than Amy, who's also an ex-stockbroker. So she knew exactly that was the right time to call because any time before that, nobody picks up your line, right? So she called up and she said, "Hi, I'm Amy Yip. I was asked to call you by Robert Howe." Of course, I didn't know who Amy Yip was, but Bob Howe, American guy, Yale graduate, Harvard MBA. He was my top client because he worked for a firm which is very well known in the US called T. Rowe Price.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big mutual fund company, right?
Right.
And he was running the Southeast Asian portfolio as well as the Japanese portfolio. So Amy was his broker on Japan. I was his broker on Southeast Asia. So he wrote me an email saying that this lady called Amy Yip is going to call you. She's the regional director of Baring Securities to talk about New Skin. That was it. I knew nothing, next to zero about New Skin. So Amy called and said, "Bob thinks you should come and attend an opportunity meeting tonight." So I said to Amy, "You know, my family and I, we had just come back from literally a round the world trip with our two young girls. They were about 10 and 6. We landed on the 28th of December and 2nd of January, they make the call." Now, how many people, your house is in a mess, you've been away for 1 month, first day of school, first day of work, would turn up at some meeting called New Skin? But we did.
Good. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Give up our movie night. So in fact, my wife reminded me that night was our movie night. She was actually quite reluctant to go.
So both of you went.
Yeah, but you know what I said? I said, you know what? If it's a business that someone like Bob Howe, who was the biggest fund manager in Southeast Asia at that time, and he's asked me to look at this opportunity, I think why not we can take a look. If it's boring, we'll sneak out and we can still watch the movie. I think lesson number 1, when someone shows you an opportunity, no matter how far-fetched it is, go take a look. What have you got to lose? Right?
So what happened during the meeting or during the presentation?
So we went to the meeting, and then I remember they were drawing all these things, skincare. Well, I wasn't interested in the skincare, but what I saw was when they started describing the background of the uplines. You know, so there was Amy, there was Bob, and then there was Jason, aircraft engineer, MBA, McGill. There was Janet Young, double masters. There was Tai Chi, MBA. There was Janet Chong, Joseph, architect, and then you guys, PhD, and then Margaret was a computer, and then PhD, and then PhD. So I said, wait a minute, why are all these PhDs and MBA selling skincare? Something's going on, right? So immediately I registered a few things. I know that a lot of men would say skincare. I said, no, actually skincare is a good thing because if you really think about it, the major shoppers in the world are always women. I think the men only outrank the women in terms of watches, electronic equipment, possibly cars.
Wow.
But so that was what I saw. I said, wait a minute, why are all these professionals getting involved in this? There's something going on. I better listen very carefully. Okay, and I think the word that got me, that really got me thinking even harder was passive income, leverage, no capital required, global. I can't pretend that I completely understood the comp plan, and really I didn't look very carefully at the products because I said, if professionals like yourself were prepared to commit to selling, using and then selling these products, the thing's going to be good, right? And then you do it part-time, and then you do it full-time, the compensation plan's got to be worth your while. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, well, wish more people will look at it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
life will be much easier.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what happened afterwards? So you decided,
Sign up immediately, or you have to think about it?
So what happened was that Amy asked at the end of the evening, and actually Amy said something like, what is the risk of doing versus the risk of not doing? I said, that makes sense. All I have to buy is a 500-point pack. And I sort of remember, I put up my hand and say, I think we will do the business.
Okay.
And then, so I said to Amy, so what do I have to do? She said, tomorrow, you go to the shop at Park Mall and you buy this 500-point pack. And then what else I have to do? You have to invite 5 people to see me. When? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5 people. Okay.
you got business, okay?
So 12 noon, I would go to Park Mall, we buy a set, and it was a set of NutriSential. I think it was 26 products, yeah. And so we started inviting people, 5 people, and I invited my brother, I invited my mom, I invited my aunt. So there were 3. And then Angie invited her colleague, that was 4. So the clock was running down because the meeting was at 7, and at 4:30, at 5:30, at 6, we were getting quite desperate because it was still 4. So Angie said, we've done pretty well. We've got no training. We don't know what the hell we're inviting for. And we still got 4 people. I said, no. We are brokers. Our word is our bond. If we say we're going to deliver 5 people, we will deliver 5 people. So So Angie managed to persuade her colleague's mom to turn up.
Ooh, okay.
So they turn up. So that night, 5 people were there. My brother and her colleague say, yeah, we'll do the business. So they say, what do you have to do? I said, tomorrow, you go to the showcase, you buy the 500-point pack, and you invite people. How many? I said, how many do you see here? 5. So tomorrow you invite 5. That's what we did. And and Amy was holding an OPP every night. By the end of the week, we had about 20 or 30 people from our group in the meeting. We don't know what was happening, but they just started inviting. So that was what happened.
Wow.
So then you started using the products and finding out
Yes.
products are excellent.
Yes. So as a guy, of course, I don't know what this is. I opened the manual, I started reading it. And there was this thing called a toner. I said, what's the stuff you use in the fax machine? Why would you put it on your face? And then when I sold it to the men, the fellow said, what's in the box? I said, I don't know. I just bought it yesterday. Just put everything on your face. It will work.
That was good.
Yeah. So it became very simple. And they accepted it. And they told it to the next guy as well, right? Of course, the wives got very irritated. They said, you men don't know what the hell you're doing. I said, I tell you, this thing works. Just invite people and you see for yourself. I said, I have the expert to tell you. Go and listen. Come and listen to Amy. Don't listen to me. Because we just 1 week old.
Right.
Wow.
So among all the products, what are your favorites?
Okay. I think when now, I would say it will be Dual Wellness because of Y-Span and R-Squared. I do a lot of sports. I mean, of course, I also like TR90 because of TR90. My weight went down from 82 to 74 kilos about 12 years ago, and I've kept it. But since then, I like the Dual Wellness because the amount of energy it gives you, the immune, your overall health, I can't find anything close to it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, well, one thing New Skin does have is an outstanding line of products, okay? Whether it's on the Hominic side or on the skincare side. And also like the idea that what you said about women, they are the consumers, really.
You guys consume too, but just not as much.
We never thought of it that way.
That's right.
It never, thought of, okay, we can use these products too.
Yes.
Right? Why would all the women have no wrinkles? Why do all the men are look like prunes? It's unfair. So we need the skincare products too. Yeah, well, okay. So you kept on going, right? And then you grew built a big organization, right? So actually, you've done well enough with your stock brokerage business that you really don't need this, isn't it?
Well, there was the newspaper sent a reporter to interview us, and they came to our house, and they said, "Why are you doing this? Why are you involved in this MLM thing?" I think she was like taking pity on us, MLM, the way she said it, right? But why are you doing this? You know, you and your wife, you're both stockbrokers, you're graduates. Why are you doing this kind of business? So I told her there were three reasons. Firstly, I have never seen a business. This to me is the perfect business because there's no capital, there's no inventory, there's no manpower. And you literally have to pinch yourself that the company is giving you not just a local, but a global franchise. But I say it's real. It sounds too good to be true, but it's absolutely true. The second thing I said was that I found out that it was not just about the passive income, which you will get once you build up your organization, but you got many other bonuses as well. Time freedom, youth, health. And I recall when I was a stockbroker, there were many holidays where if we planned for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, I had to come back after the first week because there's a call. Now, if I was traveling in Europe or in the United States at a time like this, I usually carry 2 phones, my personal and my office phone. With a crash like this, the office phone will ring non-stop. And you can forget about the rest of your holiday because your portfolio is down and your clients are changing. Where the hell are you at a time like this? You get on the next plane and you go home. Okay? So what I enjoyed was not just the passive income coming in, but the time freedom, the health, the youth. But to me, the third thing is the most important: complete peace of mind. Because when you're a stockbroker or property broker or business or whatever, you're only as good as your last trade. You always wonder after a good year, what is it going to be like next year? What about the year after that? And when you fall a long way. Whereas here, I know that the money will keep coming in. So that's peace of mind, which to me is priceless.
Now, turning to the current situation you just mentioned with this COVID-19 business, but I think they'll show you how vulnerable most businesses are.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Suppose you have a shop. What happened in this case?
Yes.
You're a shop owner. And when this virus hit, the government tells you to shut down.
Yes. You're not allowed to open.
Right. What happens to your revenue?
Exactly. Right.
And also what happens to your expenses?
Yeah.
So what happened? Your revenue goes down. Your expenses may go down somewhat.
Yes. Yes.
Right. But still there'll be a deficit there.
Yes. 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 In fact, it was very interesting. I read a warning coming from this PE fund, private equity fund called Sequoia Capital, very well-known fund in the US, in Silicon Valley. I think they were the early, probably the early investors in a lot of tech companies. They put out a warning before this started. It was starting. They said, in 50 years of investing, whenever a recession comes, you can never cut costs fast enough that revenue will fall. Which is absolutely true. And they were talking about that. We had not yet seen what was about to happen. This is worse than any of the other recessions we've seen before. But he said in the typical recession, your revenue always falls faster than you can ever cut costs, which is true.
So what happens when your revenue falls? And for most companies, what natural reaction is what? To lay off workers?
That's right. That's right. So I think what I see today, if I divide the people, generally you're either employees, you work for small to medium-sized enterprise, you're an entrepreneur of a small to medium-sized, or you work for a multinational. So I think for the first two groups, i.e. the employees and the entrepreneurs in the small businesses, this, I'm afraid, could be what NASA call ELE, extinction level event.
Oh, jeez.
Extinction. Wow.
Can you explain that?
No. Okay. NASA has this term called ELE, extinction. That means to say an asteroid, a big enough asteroid hitting Earth that doesn't land in the ocean. If it lands in New York City, I think a lot of people will go. You know. Now, of course, the chances of ELE is very, very, very small, but you have to plan for it. Now, COVID-19 is an ELE. Nobody expected this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think no matter what the governments of the United States, Japan, the EU, Singapore do in terms of cheap loans and whatever wage support, I think a lot of small businesses may not survive. So if you're an employee of a small business, you are a small business owner, it's a very tough time. Then you look at the multinationals. Ford Motor is borrowing $8 billion at something like 9% or something like that.
Wow.
Right? The Carnival Group, which is owns 50% of the cruise market, had to borrow money at 11.5%.
Wow.
Jeez. Well,
Wow.
I understand even Singapore Airlines needs bailout. Right.
Singapore Airlines is being bailed out by the government to the tune of something like 10 to 12 billion US dollars.
Wow.
Gee whiz.
So I think even if you work for one of these multinationals, let's say you work for Singapore Airlines. I mean, Singapore Airlines won't go down. But what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Singapore Airlines is going to say, hey guys, come back to work. Things are back to normal? I don't think they're going to say that. They're going to say, I'm not sure we have enough work for all of you. Why don't you take turns to work? Why don't we put you on half pay and we'll call all of you back when things come back to normal?
Right. At least you have some income.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I used to work for a multinational oil company.
Yes.
You mentioned about negative oil prices.
Well, you work for Exxon, right?
Mobil.
No, Mobil.
Mobil.
Now it's
Exxon Mobil.
Exxon, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I'll be in big trouble if it was still there. I mean,
Right.
the revenue has gone down, tremendously.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, good thing we have a plan B, so to speak.
Yeah.
I hope this is a wake-up call for all of us, whether we are employee, whether we are entrepreneur, or whether we work for one of these giants. Because previously, if you work for one of these giants, fresh out of grad school, you think your career path is there for the next 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Yeah, when we were out of college, you just think your career path, you'll be there.
Yes.
But now,
yeah.
Well, not only that, nowadays, companies don't hire you for life. They don't plan on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I interviewed for my job, I still remember my then boss told me that we expect you to stay here and make it a career.
Yeah.
No such thing nowadays.
No.
They think that if you stay with us 10 years, you got very, very valuable experience, and we are sure you'll get a very nice job elsewhere.
Yeah. So I think all these companies, big and small, will try to reduce the component of fixed costs called wages. They will try to make this very flexible. Yeah. So if I'm a restaurant owner, I'll say, Pat, you know what? I don't have enough work for you. I'll call you. Maybe over the weekends, if we're really busy, I'll call you. In the meantime, why don't you take an extended break? That's what they'll say.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. They have to have plan B.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Now, somewhere I've also heard you mention something about financial immunity.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Okay. So I think if you go to a doctor and you say, I'm going to an area that's got a lot of diseases, can you give me a vaccine, a jab, a pill to give me health immunity? So the doctor will say, what do you want it for? Is it cholera? Is it typhoid? Is it measles? Is it polio? He will have to give you like 20 jabs, right? So you say, doctor, can you give me one jab that will take care of everything? Obviously, there isn't, right? I mean, we are still waiting for the COVID-19 vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So I would define financial immunity this way. Is there one solution that will give financial immunity to those of us who are currently employees or those of us who run small business? What is financial immunity? It means you have uninterrupted cash flow regardless of the disease or calamity that's about to strike. So it doesn't matter whether it's SARS, whether there is a stock market collapse, whether there is a property market collapse, or whether it's one of these pandemics. Do you have a plan that where your cash flow for your family, for your business will continue to run? So typically we will think of it as investing in stocks. I mean, you said so earlier. You're buying stocks, you think you're fine, dividends fine. What happens?
Right.
The whole market collapses. They cut their dividend, margin call. Property. You're fine with property, right? What happens? All your tenants give up. The bank calls you and say, hey guys, you got to top up your margin, right? Because the property is falling. And they always ask you at the worst time when you're about to lose your job. You can't pay them anyway, right? So to me, I define true passive income and true financial immunity as when you own a business that is based on a consumable product or a consumable service that will not be affected by any of this. So if you look at what's happening in the market today, in the US stock market, companies like Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, they're doing very well because you and I have to buy the products, right? We have to wash our hair, clean our face, brush our teeth, take some supplements from some of these supplement companies. So health, personal care, beauty are the robust consumables. Okay. The other thing I noticed was that there are 6 stocks in the S&P 500 which are doing very well. Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, which is the parent of Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and Berkshire Hathaway. Now, apart from the last one, the first 5 are all in online and cloud-based. That means we will continue to use their service regardless. In fact, we are using more of Amazon than ever before. Right?
Now you cannot go out to shop, yes.
Correct. We need to buy online. All these companies can help you. We need to store our data online. Microsoft is providing that. So I think today, if you want to talk about true financial immunity, you need to be in the business that is delivering a consumable product or consumable service that the consumer must use through thick and thin. So I think we are in the perfect business because I cannot imagine people stopping to wash their hair or clean their face just because there's a recession. And we've got a great online platform to deliver the products to our customers. And of course, because we're now the #1 home beauty device maker in the world, people are doing their spa, their Lumi spa at home.
Right.
They're not going to the beauty.
You cannot go to the beauty shop to catch a
right.
Now you can use our products to do your facials.
So I think financial immunity is absolutely crucial if you want to make sure that your children's education are taken care of, your own retirement is taken care of, that you can continue to pay the mortgage on the house. Because if you don't have cash flow, it's game over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope our audience here understands that. You know, we do have a business here. It's a very viable business, a worldwide business. You know, you mentioned something about other financial crises, you know, in Hong Kong, for example, when they had the SARS episode, and then later on MERS, and then later on, what else? 2008, you know, the worldwide recession. We did okay. We, you know, New Skin,
exactly.
no problem, right?
Yeah. I came we came in 2001. I
Mhm.
remember in 2001, we had the dot-com bust. We started from the US.
Oh, .com bus. Yes, yes. I forgot about that.
I remember in that year, the guys from the stockbroking community were more open to talking about business because of the dot-com bust, right? The business was bad. And then in 2003, we had SARS.
Mm-hmm.
In 2008, we had Lehman crisis.
Mhm.
And 2009, we had H1N1. In 2018, 2019, we had US-China trade war. And of course, this year, we have COVID-19.
Yeah.
It seems that these things are coming in rapid succession. Just before you could recover from the last one and sort of setting things up, the next one comes along,
Yeah. Wow.
right?
And I think we still came through no problem.
Yeah.
Right. And you guys lived through 1997 Asian financial crisis. I'm sure your business carried on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I still remember Korea, for example, it's really bad.
That's right.
They opened in 1996.
Yes.
For a couple of years, they would go like gangbusters, and then the financial crisis hit.
That's
They
right.
went down, but then they
They
recovered very nicely.
That's
You
right.
know, you get a very viable group going there.
Yeah.
So this is something that, like you said, it's just continuing and almost, what shall I say, recession-proof,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, having said all that, okay, what do you see in the future of New Skin?
Okay. I always like to use this analogy. I've always said that New Skin was a star in amazing and a star opportunity vehicle. Okay, because I've never seen anything like this where you don't put in capital, no inventory, company does everything for you, online delivery, supply chain, everything. But it's just like if you're in a city like Los Angeles or Singapore or Hong Kong where there are a lot of bright lights, it's very hard to see the star. You could barely see the star because there's too much background lights. But if you go into the desert, you can see the star very clearly. What's my point? When the skies are dark, the star shines more brightly. So previously, when we were talking to people about New Skin, the property market was going up, his F&B business was expanding. It doesn't go in. And now, when you tell them you can have a business with no fixed costs, global expansion, and so on and so forth, he's starting to pay attention. I think more people will start to pay attention now. And I think even our current or existing business builders, they have taken the opportunity for granted. They think that, oh, every company does this. I said, no, not every company does this. Okay, you really need to see the opportunity. You really need to cherish it, because I know of no other opportunity where you don't have to put in capital or inventory or manpower, and then you've got this group of brilliant scientists doing all the R&D for you, and you keep your consumer group and you keep your franchise group and you pass on to your kids. I said, it's too good to be true, but it's absolutely true.
I know. It is true. New Skin has been what, 36 years now? 1984.
36 years.
36
yes.
years. And so we do have quite a few of the people that started while they were young, and then now already passed down to the business is taken, legacy account, I call them.
Next generation.
Yeah, the next generation is doing the business, and it is amazing. Yeah. It is amazing, and they're growing. Yeah.
So we're definitely having a lot more interest or re-interest from people we talked to before. But hopefully they're not business people who are on their knees, because if they're on their knees now because of the bank chasing them and all that, it's going to be much harder.
Yeah.
So I urge everyone to go for everybody else who is not yet in these dire straits. You know, you have a job, maybe a little bit of a pay cut, and really wake them up. And I like to always quote Winston Churchill. He always says, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Oh, okay.
It's Winston Churchill, huh?
Yeah.
Good
So
one.
I think we need to go out there and really tell people again, the guy may have said no to us 5 times, 10 times.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
maybe crisis would have made him wake up a bit.
Yes, yes. Yeah, well, okay. You've been involved in New Skin 20 some years, right? What you find satisfied about your involvement?
Okay. I think when we first came in as good financial people, we saw there was money to be made without risk. I'll be very honest about it. So I think the first thing that drove us was, of course, financial security for our own family, right? But then as I came in and as we both did the business, we realized that we have been more fortunate than most in terms of being in the right careers at the right time in stockbroking. But not everyone is that fortunate. Most people are looking for something. They don't know what. So it's through New Skin, I end up meeting a lot of people I otherwise wouldn't through the products, get better health, better looks. But the business really allows people to have a future for their family, which is not otherwise possible. You know, literally, you show the person how to keep catching fish, if I may use the old the metaphor, instead of giving the person fish. And you make a lot of new friends. And I think to quote you, Pat, in New Skin, you're always dealing with happy people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that when I was a lawyer, I don't meet with too many happy people because they have problems when they see me.
Yeah. So I like to tell this story. I said one day, one of my business builder she was very excited, so she started telling a beautician about New Skin. So this beautician said, "But do you know this is MLM?" She said, "What do you mean? Multi-level marketing." And she said, "I didn't know that, but what's wrong with that? Why would you want a single level income when you can have multiple levels of income?"
Wow, that is a good answer.
Yeah.
So I always
That's even more true now. You know, when you have only a store, one store is your main source of income.
Yeah.
When the store is closed,
That's right. It's
you're
only
done.
employees and small business owners who have a single source of income. The billionaires always have multiple sources of income from multiple countries. And there was something else I learned, which is that MLM doesn't just stand for multi-level marketing. It stands for make life meaningful.
Really?
So when you have income coming every month that you can take care of your family, take care of yourself, take care of your kids, take care of your parents, you have all the time in the world, you have your health, you have your youth, you have your peace of mind. I think it's great. And I always love your story that when your son or daughter comes back home and say, "Mom, Dad, I made it to Stanford." Then you say, "Yeah, your parents love to live in a trailer park."
True. Yeah, it's true, right? Especially for us Asians, we do anything to put our kids through a prestigious college or university or whatever. You know, it doesn't matter what we have to sacrifice.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's our mentality, actually.
Yeah. So I always ask parents, if your son or daughter said, "Dad, Mom, I got good news. I made it to Stanford University." And you're wondering, how the hell am I going to raise $500,000 US? I mean, if you're just an ordinary background, you break your son's heart, say, "Mom and Dad don't have the money." But with New Skin, you can.
Yeah. Well,
not immediately, but at least part of it.
Well, with like our second son went through this. She started off at Maryland, then he transferred to Northwestern.
Yes.
Maryland's at that time is about 15,000 a year.
Yes.
Northwestern is close to 40,000 a year. Now, mind you, this is after-tax income.
Yes.
Not too many families can afford that kind of money.
That's right. That's right.
Good thing we have New Skin.
I know.
Didn't matter as long as you can get in. You know, it's good.
So to me, the most satisfying part is not just having new skin to take care of our own family, but you can help a lot of families to live the life they cannot imagine possible.
Yes, that's true too. We didn't realize that we're helping not just this current generation, but actually we're helping the generation afterwards.
In
and
fact,
the generation after that.
I'm reminded of a little story. My younger daughter, when she was 10 years old, we've been in the business maybe 4 years. So one of her schoolmates said, I don't get it. Both your parents were high-flying stockbrokers. I get it when they were stockbrokers, they could make money and afford this lifestyle. But I don't get it how by selling toothpaste and foundation, they can make money. I mean, how does it, I don't get it. How? Can you explain to me how your mom and dad make money selling skincare and cosmetics that you can afford this lifestyle? So she said, she was all 10 years. So she said, no, they don't sell skincare. What they do, they sell dreams that the person that never imagined, they sell a dream life that the person does not imagine possible. Make them do things they're not comfortable with doing, like putting skincare on their face. And then when they see the money coming in, they make the next person do the same thing.
Yeah, she is good.
I thought it was kind of a good answer. It was a simple answer. It was a correct answer.
Good for 10-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Wow. Okay.
No, that's
Yeah, okay.
very good. Okay, now, what would have happened if you didn't get involved in New Skin?
Actually, that's a very scary question, which most people don't think about. Right?
What do you think I asked you?
I know for most of us, when we are faced with this, and the men, and they look at the opportunity and say, God, skincare, I just can't bring myself to do it. And more so for the Asians hate failure because we like to score 100 marks, right, for our exam. But I think that question is very scary because I remember the question that Amy asked, what is the risk of doing nothing? What's the risk of not doing? So I think I can answer the question this way. If I didn't do New Skin, I think I would have less hair. I would have more white hair. My tummy will be bigger. Instead of being 74 kilos, I'll probably be 90 kilos. My bank account will be smaller. And then literally you'll be counting the pennies. And let's say at a stock market like this, you lose more money, you get even more desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's a vicious cycle, actually. Yeah.
And then you say to yourself, I'm 61 now, I could live to 90. Is there going to be enough money in the bank to last me another 30 years? You get worried, and every day you're dreading it. I mean, that's a terrible way to live your life, right? So in short, I would have less hair, and most of it will be white. My tummy will be bigger, and my bank account will be smaller, and I will have no peace of mind.
Yeah, that is true. And then you're 61, so we thought of it too. If we were not in New Skin, you know, I'm 73, so had definitely retired. Yes. And then really have to count how much we have every month from Social Security, and then have to really count where do we spend our money. And we realized groceries has gone up.
Exactly.
A lot. We went out 10 days ago. Few things.
I think we spent $200-300
to
buy a few items.
Yeah. And I said, oh my God, I'm so glad we have New Skin. Yes.
I guess as a retiree, your most horrible thought would be you outlive your money.
That's right. And in Singapore, the statistics is that if you're 60 years today, you have close to a 40% chance of living beyond 90.
I think nowadays we all live longer. Yeah, definitely.
It may not be a good thing, or you run out of money.
You run out of money, right?
Money is a problem.
When you have money, no problem. Yeah, you can enjoy life, right? But when you have to count pennies in order to survive, there's no way to live, really. I mean, you work hard during your work days and hope to have enjoy your golden years. Instead, most people wound up worrying about how they're going to survive.
Yes, yes. So I always like to tell the story of the two of you. I say you're in your 70s, you work hard maybe for the first 5 to 8 years, and then you enjoy forever. Then when you tell people this story, they say, there's a catch. I said, there's no catch. They say, wait a minute, and your children inherit it. I said, yeah. He said, this sounds too good to be true. It must be a scam. I said, what if it is true? I'm telling you, it's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
And not just one case, many cases.
Exactly. So I encourage people who are watching this, please go and talk to the person who invited you. Talk to them properly. I know it's too good to believe it's true, but it is absolutely true. And the one thing I always say is that you're entitled to your own prejudices. You're entitled to your own biases. You're entitled to your own misinformed views, but you're not entitled to your own facts. And facts are facts. We've been around 36 years, 54 countries. We're public listed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And real people like us here really be reading real lives. We have to use real money to pay for our groceries.
That's right.
The money's going to come from somewhere, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, anything else? Any words of wisdom
For
for
newcomers.
newcomers?
Yeah. New people.
I think for those who have come in to look at this, or I just ask yourself this question. Do you want more out of your life? Did you not wish there could be more in your life? What do I mean? What about having income coming in every month that would more than take care of your basic needs and still pay for more, like holidays, taking care, giving your mom and dad a nice holiday? And should your son or daughter make it to a top overseas university, being able to pay for it, and on top of that, pay for your own retirement, a comfortable retirement? Have you ever thought about that? Or you have excluded that from your possible dream? What if I told you it was possible? And on top of that, you could have time freedom. You could have youth. You could have, I mean, you guys are in your 70s. You don't look it, you know, right?
Thank you.
Right? And have complete peace of mind. So what if it was possible? Would you be open-minded enough to take a look at it? And once you decided you want to do it, then there are a few things you need to do. You need to do exactly what your sponsor tells you to do. Use the products, do your name list, talk to the uplines who will train you, start talking to people, and it's fun. But you must believe, you must follow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simplest things are the hardest to do. So I think start with a vision of the fact that you could have a better life. Believe that you could have a better life. It's just that you haven't found the right vehicle.
Yes, precisely. New Skin's an excellent vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And every time when people meet me and they know I'm a stockbroker, they want to talk about stocks. I say, I don't talk about stocks. Trust me, you don't know what you're talking about. You know? It's not a one-way street.
Yeah, well, now a lot of people come to us, hey, you know, New Skin stock is, you know, it's gone down like every other stock. Is it a good time to buy? You know, I say, okay, look at it this way. It's a good time to buy, all right? Okay, even if it double later on, you sold it, make a bunch of money.
Yes.
That's only once.
That's right.
That's only one transaction, guys.
That's right.
You don't have any more New Skin stock. You
right.
sold them.
That's right.
Right? You make the money once. Why are you so happy? You don't make it once. Why don't you look at a different way? You can make it many times.
Month after month after month.
Yeah.
Month after month.
Yeah. So we just have to, well, I guess we just have to learn to, well, not learn, but make it our mission to educate other people about what New Skin can do for them.
Yes.
Not for us, not for them. Seriously.
And I think one more thing I would say to the people who are watching is what I said at the beginning. When I saw that professionals like yourself were doing this business, actually, it really ticked all the right boxes. I don't need to see what the products are. If you guys of your stature are getting involved, the products must be good. It must have a value in the marketplace, and the compensation plan must make sense for you guys to do it part-time, then do it full-time. It's a very simple way to look at it.
I think a lot of people got the wrong conception that when we ask them to look at Nu Skin, they think we want them to quit their job and do this full-time. No, it takes time to build an organization. But once you build
we did it part-time for a year anyway before we went.
Yeah, I mean, most of us started part-time, and then you see, okay, what this part-time income can do for you, and all the benefits, that come along with the income. So you make your own decision. Now, talking about that, okay, our group is, well, so far we've interviewed you, a Singapore scholar, okay, and we interview also, this all in our group, a doctor, okay, who is still working part-time for a very famous hospital in this area. And her husband is an IT expert, okay? Then next we talk to a lieutenant colonel in the Army. Now, you wouldn't think that he was in charge of tanks.
Yeah.
It's just, your upline. Dan Cake. He's a tank driver, I used to call him. Get him into this. All right. Then we talked to Lang Chow.
Yeah.
Who's got upline up. It's a PhD in meteorologist.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our own upline is a PhD in physical chemistry, and his partner is a PhD in physics. Okay, well, we'll skip ourselves. You introduced us already.
Yeah.
And then we talked to Frank.
Yes.
Yeah, we interviewed Frank already.
Who's a hydrofoil driver between Hong Kong and Macau.
Yeah.
Next, we talked to Vera and Benny.
Yeah.
Vera is one of the 10 outstanding young persons in Hong Kong, and also one of the 100 outstanding women
and the first
in China.
Yeah, and the first one to start a beauty and charm school in Hong Kong too.
Yeah, and then last week we talked to Janet and Joseph Chung. Joseph is a very famous architect. All right, so a lot of professional people are involved in this, and that should really pique other people's interest. What's going on here? Why would professional like these guys what do they see in Nu Skin that I don't see? Yeah.
Maybe people have questions.
Well, okay. I think we have talked enough. Do we have any questions?
Anybody have any questions? No, I don't think so.
Chat's a Q&A over here.
Q&A.
May not have any questions.
No
open questions.
Okay.
No one wants to.
Everybody's happy today.
From James Cha.
Why
are we still doing the business?
Yeah. Okay. You answer first.
Okay. Well, this is not work. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. Compared to what most people think of work, you think of it, you have to go to the office to solve a problem. At least for me as a lawyer, I go there because the issues that I need to take care of. Here, no. You just talk to people like you, Juinnwen. We're always smiling, happy to see each other. The mentality is totally different. This is very enjoyable, quote, work.
Yeah. So I call it, to me, after all these years, I still have to take care of my face. I have to take care of my body, doing exercise, but it's not enough. So I need the spas to take care of some parts of it. So I call it, it's what I would have done even if I'm not in Nu Skin, right? So then when we travel, to me, it's almost like kind of like we're elder statesmen, come and shake hands, have lunch, have dinner, and then we have more friends than ever. You know,
Yes.
sometimes people tell you, oh, you do this MLM, you're gonna lose all your friends. No, I think we have tens of thousands of folds of friends.
We're more friends than before, actually.
Yeah, yeah. And
And-
then positive people, and
Yeah,
all friends are positive people, and I like that.
they're happy to. We're happy to meet
Happy to see
one
us.
another. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, so to me, I read somewhere, and I think all of us, we want to be happy in life, right? And the happiest people I read somewhere says are those who are helping others to be happy.
Mm.
So to me, I mean, it doesn't take that much to recommend spa, or Rumi Spa, or the Dual Wellness, or the Tier. People need help with their weight, with their face, you know, and of course, with their life, with the opportunity. So if we can help others be happier, have happier, lead happier life, why would we stop? We don't have to go to the store to check the inventory or worry about, oh, you know, COVID-19, you know, we have so much stock, right? So to me, it's running, it's the best of business without having to do all this nonsense that's associated with a traditional business.
Yeah, that's true. More questions? Okay.
More questions.
Any more questions? Okay. Okay, from Erwin from Philippines.
What's your work ethics and mindset when you started?
Okay, that's me. That is for me or for you?
Mm-hmm. They're all for you.
Okay.
You're the guest today.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, I think my mindset was that once I decided to be serious with the business, I remember I interviewed all the uplines, Tai Chi, and I think Janet and Joseph Chong came later, and Jason. And I worked out very quickly that this whole business was down to only three things: invite, invite, invite. Invite people to look at the products, invite people to look at the opportunity. That's it. You know, this is all that matters, and you will find the people. So what was my work ethic in the beginning? On weekdays, this was when I was not yet doing this full time. I would be trying to see at least 3 people a day, even with my busy schedule running the trading desk. And on weekends, I'll try and do 5 meetings. So it was just going through the numbers. And when you're going through the numbers so quickly and you intend to do that as the goal, you have no time to wonder why your cousin said no to you or why your best friend is laughing at you, because you're just going through the numbers so quickly. I think the danger is when you're doing too little, you keep dwelling on the ones who say no. So I saw this merely as a headhunting business, going through the numbers to find the ones who want to do it. It's not for everyone. Not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody can accept it, but we are just giving them an opportunity. But you really have to go through the numbers and accept that only a minority of people will do it. It's never going to be a majority.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody wants to do it, and it's okay because timing in their life is not right, which as of right now, the COVID-19 makes lots of people timing ready.
Well, hope to open their eyes with this
Yeah.
crisis.
That's right.
I think there's another question from Anonymous, which we
I thought we didn't allow that.
Juinnwen, you mentioned about MLM is a star right now.
Yeah.
Is this specifically only for Nu Skin, or also other MLM company will grow as well?
Okay, I think if I wanted to discuss the other MLM companies, it would take far too long. So maybe I will discuss it this way. Firstly, I will not choose any MLM company that's outside the top 10 worldwide by sales. Okay, and Nu Skin fits very nicely there. Secondly, I want to choose a company that is in line with what I want to promote. I do not want to promote pots and pans. And I think Nu Skin's product positioning for users is very good, middle to upper middle, but nowhere near those kind of pricing. But to me, the most important thing is that the company is in all the sectors I can relate to. personal care, beauty, supplements for health, weight management. And the most important of all, the compensation plan, which really, because of 6th generation, 5% and global, gives me a leveraged passive income. If it was direct selling, I'm not interested because I'm still selling time for money. And if it was not globally seamless, I wouldn't be interested. So I think that those are my reasons for choosing us instead of another.
Okay. Very good.
How to do the business if you don't have connections to people and that can afford a product? Wow. Well, can I share some
very
story?
common. That's a very common.
In our Thailand group, I remember one of the team elite that I met, she did not speak any English, only Thai. Her family was in some kind of desperate situation. They sold their house. They just have nothing. So she actually did facelift for people at the bus stop and charging them $5 for doing facelift. And now she has been a Blue Diamond, a team elite maybe for the last 15 years. So you can find the people she needed to do it to survive with her family, she did it.
I think a lot of people, because they know my background, they think that it's very easy for me. Actually, it's very, very tough for me. And I tell you why. Because I know quite a few of the ministers in the present cabinet of Singapore are my friends. They're not going to do MLM, for sure, right? My clients from my stockbroking days, in fact, I didn't even talk to them. So in fact, 99% of the people who eventually joined me in the business, I didn't know at all or knew very, very little from James Chow was a good example. Dr. James Chow, my MCM. We met only 3 times over 5 years. He literally was a complete stranger. So if I had to rely on my friends, on my existing network to buy the products or do the business, I'll be out of it. In fact, I always tell people, in spite of my network of people who could afford the products, in spite of my network of people who have big networks, I still did the business because these people did not support me. But I could still do the business. So it's not an advantage. In fact, I think it's a disadvantage.
That's true.
Yeah, because I could easily have said, "Ooh, my friends are not supporting me. It's a terrible business."
Anything you do, you have friends who are not telling you, "Oh, this is no good." Okay.
Not only that, they'll say, "Why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
Right?
As if this was really, below them, I guess.
Okay. There's a question. What is the most important thing for the beginner in Nu Skin? How we find our business partners? That you answered already. What's the most important thing for beginners?
Okay.
Get your product.
Use them.
And then use them.
Find out why the products are good.
Okay.
What the benefits you derive you can get from the products, and then you can share this product and business with others.
Another question. How many hours a day do you do business when you start? When you started, yeah.
Okay, so for me, because I was running a trading desk, and between 8 o'clock to about 6 o'clock, I don't do Nu Skin during the trading hours because you're handling clients' money. It's important you focus. So I do a morning meeting at 6:45 before I show up for work.
Wow.
Hardworking. That's hardworking.
Yeah, so it's a quick meeting, just catch up, maybe half an hour, and I show up in the office 7:30 morning meeting. Maybe sometimes there's a bit of a lull in the market at 10:30. I make a quick call. I pop up for coffee. Then lunchtime, I do some meetings, and then after work, we try and squeeze in a few meetings.
Yes.
So that's how we did it. So somehow, by hook or by crook, we managed to do 3 meetings on weekdays and 5 meetings on weekend. And I think I saw very early on, this whole business was about energy and momentum. the more you do, the more you're likely to find someone below you who will do what you do. And then the
Yeah.
multiplication starts.
I agree. Okay. Jason
Look
has
who's
a question.
online.
I know,
Look who's
Jason.
got a question for you, Juinnwen. Jason Chi.
It says, what is the most difficult things about this business?
Okay, I think for most people, the most difficult thing is rejections from people who are very close to them, from their own brother, from their own spouse. For me personally, that was not it, because I accepted it, that it was a numbers game. So I think for me, sometimes you get very attached to your own brother or your own best friend. You want them to do the business. And they seem to give you some suggestion they will do the business. They give you encouragement. They buy the products. They show up for some meetings. They do some inviting. But eventually they drop out of the business. So I think I had to get past that. I mean, if they said a flat no to me is easy. But they sort of say yes, they come to some meetings and they fall out, they come back. And so they just drag you down. Yeah. So I think I've learned to be much firmer with people. And I see the same thing happening with the new ones. So I just warn them. I say, good, come on, treat everyone the same. Doesn't matter if it's your cousin or your best friend or a complete stranger. Here's the template, judge by their actions. See who is prepared to do it. So I think I always say be passionate about the business, but don't get emotional. Because the moment you get emotional and you want this person to succeed so badly.
Well, that's our mentality, isn't it? We look at one person, he's
right?
so qualified, you know, he knows a lot of friends,
Yes.
they want to make money, they like to talk, and everything so good.
Yeah.
You know, he should be perfect for this business.
Exactly.
However, the only missing part is he or she doesn't want to do the business. So in your mind, he's qualified, but in his mind, he's not interested. So nothing you can do. You might as well go to the next person and hopefully build an organization or get some result to show this person rejected you. Look, despite what you think, you know, I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. I think last question. Oh, how to invite friends who are motivated by money? Well, show them the New York Stock Exchange on New Skin, right? The company is a public company and we post. Depends how hard you work, how many people you bring in.
Right.
Well, okay. Motivated by money. How would you like to have a check every month for whoever?
Yeah.
For, you know, as long as you stay in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all the questions.
I think we covered them all.
Yeah, we covered them all.
No, something just came in.
How present? Oh, yes, there's a new question. I have a burning question. Ooh. As for age lock, TR90, I understand the TR90 aids in readjusting your DNA and lower your body age by repairing and protecting. Does that affect, say, your offspring, giving birth to a kid before having TR90 or having a kid after completing TR90? Do the kids differ greatly? Anonymous. This you should.
That's quite a question that we cannot answer.
Yeah, you should check with the corporate, with the scientist, not us. We're not answering that.
All right. Okay, Juinnwen, how long did it take you to achieve financial immunity?
No. This came in, yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I think, and that's why it's perhaps harder for me before I came into the business, we were really quite secure because I'm quite conservative.
Yeah, that's why I asked you. You're doing well. Why you want to do this?
I want additional buffer. I would like additional buffers, you know. I would like additional, but just in case something like this happens, you know, so the cash flow. So I would say, for what I see, if you work hard at this, probably 3 to 5 years at least. And why do I say that? Is because while your numbers are going up and up, you still have not achieved stability. It's only when you got enough self-driven leaders who would do it, even though you don't call them and you're on a sabbatical for a year or whatever, then you've achieved. So I would say the minimum for most people, 3 to 5 years to get your organization stable. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree?
Yeah, it takes time. It
Yeah.
takes time to build an organization. So a lot of these people think that, you know, you're coming today, tomorrow you're rich. You know, that's
Doesn't
dreaming.
work. Yeah.
You know, that's daydreaming.
Yeah. It takes time. I call it, it's like kids. You always wish your kids become the best because they're either become dragon or phoenix, but it takes how many years? From the time they're born until they can walk, until they can go to school, until they become college graduates so that they can become a dragon or a phoenix, right? It's
And
like
that
20
question
years.
can only be answered on hindsight. So maybe after a year or two, you think you've made it. Then in the third year, the guys you brought in the first year, they're no longer around, right?
Yeah.
But then when you look back, you say, oh, okay, yeah, I think it's about 3 to 5 years at least.
At
Yeah,
least,
to
at
be-
least,
yeah.
to be safe.
To build a solid organization.
Yes. But
Yeah.
you have to be working on it, not just sitting there waiting for the 3 years to pass by. Says, how come I have nothing?
Well, working is one thing. Wishing is a different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people wish they become successful. They're not willing to put in the work to become
And of
successful.
course, a lot of the other MLMs tell you that within a month, you're getting this kind of checks. Within a year, the guy is, you know, getting a 6-figure sum. And
No. Okay. Any more questions?
I think we got them all.
You got them all?
They want to know how fast you sift. I think it depends on the person,
right.
you know, and then when to recycle your list. Whenever you want to, you think about somebody like recently, I just thought about an old friend that I forgot about her for 6 months already. And I go, oh, we're all stuck home. Let me call her just to say hello. Right? How to present to men more effectively. Because they always think about women business. Well,
You sort of covered
you smooth
that.
out. Yeah, it's already covered. The last one by Tai Chi again. Okay. How much time you work in the week now? Ooh.
Me, again.
Yeah, you. That's right. Maybe it's point to all of us. I don't know. You know.
Well, okay. First of all, do you consider this work?
I
What do you
suppose.
do now?
No. Yeah. What do you mean by work? Right? To me, as a lawyer, that means I had to go to the office, sit down, open my files, read, look at the problem, try to solve them.
Yeah.
Right? Here, are we doing that?
No. We're having suppose we came to Singapore, we had dinner and we have a talk.
Yeah.
While having dinner, right?
Yeah, we've done it with you guys many times, right?
Yeah.
We'll come to Singapore, meet, talk over lunch or dinner, whatever, have a good time. Is that considered work?
Yeah, so what is work? So there are people who are crazy about Zoom. So I have heard yesterday one of a New Skin person that is doing five Zoom meeting a day. And I go, oh, I don't know. But, I'm doing one Zoom meeting a day to learn how to do the body.
No,
And is that work or is that fun?
Yeah.
It's like girls get together to go to a spa and then, do something in their body. So I call that do you call that work?
That's why I asked.
But somebody use a product.
Yeah. How do
and
you
get a
define
percentage.
work? How do you define work? What does work mean to you? That's the thing.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Juinnwen?
Well, I find that during this stage, my time is probably more productively spent trying to first I'm learning from my younger partners how they are using Zoom, social media to get this going. you may remember earlier on, about few years ago, social media, as promoted by certain people in Nu Skin, or a lot of us who are selling toothpaste and all that, I never quite believe in that, right? Or, you know, selling 1,000 toothpaste or whatever. And then you become the blue diamond or whatever. But I think this time around, the way social media is being used to do all these face-to-face meetings, and then the follow-up. So I'm looking at the whole process. I learn from my leaders who are doing this well. I watch what they are doing. I watch the responses of the prospects. And I think the follow-up is so important. So I try and help them in the follow-up. I say, okay, so last night Zoom, who came? Can we do a follow-up? Okay, why don't we do a follow-up over the next 2 days, no longer than that? WhatsApp video call. How about this person? How is this person starting? How are they adapting? Then how about those who have not yet adopted Zoom or WhatsApp? How can we help them? How can we share stories about how we can sell TR90? For example, a lot of people ask, how am I going to sell TR90 if I can't see the person to measure? But they're going to so TR90. So when we posted the thing, then people say, yes, it can be done because you can Zoom and how to do TR90. So I think we're still working this out, but certainly, given the lockdown, I've actually become busier because
I know it's get busier. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because always you couldn't get hold of people. The guy was at lunch or he was at work, and now people want to talk to you, so you have more.
That's true. A lot of chit chatting, with old friends. Correct.
Yeah. So if you consider this work, so be it. Right. I mean, we're having fun, actually.
Exactly.
I don't know. Not too many people can say that they enjoyed their work. Seriously.
Actually, if we're considered working with Juinnwen right now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having fun together. Okay.
Anyway. Okay. Wow. It's 10.
Wow. 10:18.
10:18.
Okay.
Remember, I thought this will last only half an hour.
Okay.
Well, okay. I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Is there any more questions?
No question. There's some Q&A. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's it, I think.
That's it,
Yeah. Okay. We have answered most of the questions.
I think there's a little question here.
This.
After facing lots of rejection, how do you mentally bounce back? Being driven and passionate and fight for what you believe.
I think what I said earlier, if you accept that only a minority of people are going to see this, then you just keep going. And I have one mantra which I tell my team: the whole business is about going through the many to find the few who will bring you many.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's it. I don't expect to talk to 10 people and have 8 people sound very positive. I said, if you think that, you're in for a big disappointment. You'll be out of the business in no time.
Yeah.
True. That's very true.
Right? And
a lot of people think that she's my good friend. All I have to do is tell her she's in, no problem.
She'll be a blue diamond, right?
I have a very simple explanation for this, because we all live in a linear world. So we go from primary 1 to primary 2. I mean, we have to raise our kids for 20 over years before they get their first paycheck, right? It takes a long time. And so just like when you're watching the COVID-19 numbers, it's 10, 15, 20, then suddenly you wake up, it's 10,000. Because as human beings, we are used to the linear world, but not the exponential world. And I like the story of Joseph Chung, that after 1 year, he only found 1 Tai Chi. He said that, right? So in the linear world, Joseph should have quit because he only found 1 person. Very disappointing, right? But Joseph did not quit because he was going through the linear rejections to get the exponential reward eventually.
Yeah, that's very good, Juinnwen.
Wow.
Well put. Very well put.
Right? I mean, how many COVID-19 cases do you have now in the United States, starting from nothing?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Only a few weeks ago, we have nothing. No one.
Yeah.
Now it's
It's
new.
like scary.
You know.
Even Maryland.
Go through the linear rejections to enjoy the eventual exponential rewards.
Good.
Good.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess we'll wrap this up
Okay.
and see everybody next week. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna hold this once. I mean, every Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll feature one of our leaders in our group.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
this is being recorded, so I'll be able to send
You're
this
gonna
out.
end. You're gonna end the
Okay.
record now.
All right, I'll end the recording.
Recording.
Okay, let's record.